Our bodies are actually designed for stress. We're not designed for comfort. Our entire genome has been shaped in the context of adversity. We are made to be able to go this duration without eating. We are made to endure hard things. And I think that when we, appreciate that that allows our bodies to become fully expressed in the way that we're optimized to be, I think it just reframes what we think about stress. It reframes what we're calling fasting because this truly is normal eating.
And
What is
break fast
Yeah,
is actually breaking the fast of the
right.
night. That makes sense.
So, 2 things, I've mentioned this before on the podcast, and Lisa, our producer, and I have talked about this a lot. In this era where we're all tracking our sleep using Oura Rings and Whoops and Garmins and, you name it. I've noticed, and this is an N of 1, but I've noticed in my own
But a
many years.
but a big N.
It's a big N. I've noticed in my many years of tracking my sleep that if I eat late, but close to going to bed, my sleep scores are worse than if I have one alcoholic beverage. And neither are great. Both impact my sleep scores, but eating late is the thing that impacts my sleep scores the most. And so, first of all, what do you think about that? And do you think part of that is that this is, our body needs to be in a different state and not a completely full state in order to sleep well and recover during sleep? And then number two, what's the minimum viable dose? Because you're not necessarily saying, you know, have some complex intermittent fasting. Maybe you're saying like once you finish dinner, just don't eat again until you wake up and have breakfast at like a pretty normal time. Um, what's sort of the minimum viable dose to get these benefits um, from a fasting perspective?
Yeah, so there's two critical parts to this. One is the minimum dose of going past the 12 hours because that is roughly when you make the metabolic switch from using glucose for energy to using fats. And our body's creating the ketones that signal the body that we're in a stressed state and start to activate these disease defenses. The other really critical part, and when I said fasting in a circadian pattern, the critical part is also aligning our eating with our circadian biology. So our bodies have a clock and we are more efficient at breaking down food and digesting food earlier in the day and less so as the day goes on. Our ability to mount an insulin response is lower in the evening because as our melatonin levels rise, our ability to respond to food with insulin also diminishes. So the same food eaten later in the day will lead to more weight gain, metabolic disruption. There are actually studies looking at what happens over time in people who eat late meals, late dinners, or snack after dinner. One study that followed 8,000 people for 4 years found that men who eat late at night or snack after dinner have a twofold higher risk of obesity. In women, it was threefold. So aligning when we eat in our circadian biology is critical. And like you said, all we have to do is just end eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. And the sleep disruption is a part of that because we have a central clock, which is in our suprachiasmatic nucleus, a part of our hypothalamus made out of about 20,000 neurons. And that kind of aligns with day and night, with light and darkness. But in the last decade, there's been a discovery that we have peripheral clocks. We have clocks in every organ system, in our microbiome, in our digestive tract. We have clocks in our pancreas, in our liver. These peripheral clocks are actually programmed by the timing of our meals.